this press engagement. We are here as partners, we are here as friends, and we are here to unveil two things. One, we are here to unveil what I call advanced language model, which is an AI engine. Many of you are used to large language models. You know most of them. I will not attempt to use this opportunity to list them for you. But we are also here to dedicate the first Africa AI factory. And very soon you'll be able to actually see what we are actually calling the first Africa AI factory. And all of this is to create jobs for our youth, for our young people in Kenya, for our young people in Africa, and for our young people around the world. That is really the essence of what we are unveiling today. We have partners here that have worked together to unveil, to bring to life what we are unveiling today. We are sitting in Nakuru, and somebody might ask, why Nakuru City? Why are you unveiling a global product, a global solution, a global innovation in Nakuru? And I'll ask you, why not? It is an opportunity that we have because you well know that one of the most challenging issues we have around the world is to what extent and how can we create opportunity for our young people to engage. And here we are with new and emerging technology that has swept the global scene called artificial intelligence. And if you don't do anything about it, if you don't work hard toward it, you will definitely be left behind. And we have made a decision not to be left behind in Nakuru, not to be left behind in Kenya, not to be left behind in Africa, and that is why we're unveiling global solutions, global innovations here today. To introduce Simba AI. Simba AI has a footprint in the US, in New York. Simba AI has a footprint in Kenya. I'm sitting here as one of the co-founders of Simba AI. My partner here, Randy Faulkner, that you'll know a little bit more about, joined us from the US. And we have a big team that has been working on this. Largely engineers, web developers, and developers from Kenya. And Randy has been leading a team of technical people who have been working on this particular project. So he will be able to actually share with you some of the technical nuances of Simba AI. But before I go far, I want to thank all of you. It is rare that in a morning such as this, that we would see, I can see almost 8 cameras sitting here. That shows me that all of you guys are dedicated and are committed to seeing how best we can address this issue of creating jobs for young people. But not only that, that you are the first team, you are the first door, and you are the first window for the world to actually see an innovation that has been developed in partnership and in collaboration between the Kenyan or Africa developers and US developers. At the right time, I'll be able to actually introduce to you some of the team members that have been involved in this, but I want to assure you that a good bit of that were and are still our young people in Kenya. how do we want to actually be able to create jobs with Simba AI? How do we want to actually partner with Leash AI Labs to create jobs for our young people? All of you, and if you have not been using the emerging technologies on artificial intelligence, then you're late. Let me also announce to you as very good people that if you don't embrace technology, if you don't embrace AI, and this is not a threat, you'll be out of even the job that you're doing now as the press. That is the reality, and we are here as partners to actually assist each one of you to improve in what you do, because technology is not supposed to replace you. Technology or AI will not replace you. AI will transform your job, and your challenge is to transform with that technology and see how best you can leverage that technology. In the context of creating jobs for our young people, it is important that we recognize that artificial intelligence is not here to make life difficult for us. Anything and everything else that we've been doing will be able to actually transform our digital lifestyle and make anything else that we do much better, more efficient, faster. And when you engage and integrate AI and emerging technologies into the things that you do and everything else that you do, you will find your life alone will, and in my view, should improve. And that is what we want to do with our young people, because our young people should be able to use Simba AI, which is an AI engine, to actually generate and model many of what we call AI agents or AI models. That is part of what we're going to be doing here. Remember that the blood life for artificial intelligence is data. That's crucial. And so what are we doing? We're also setting up what we call an AI data hub here, even to train our engine that we have trained so far, and you'll be able to actually interact with him, because he's Simba. So you'll be able to interact with Simba. You'll be able to actually go onto the platform and actually be able to interact with it. To train that model, you need data. And so what have we done? We have worked tirelessly together with a team of data scrapers, data processors, and data engineers from Nakuru, sitting in this lab for the last several months to generate data. And we actually have an opportunity to monetize that? Yes, absolutely. So can we get our young people to actually continue to generate data, to continue to scrape data, to continue to process data, and allow our backend engineers to actually clean up that data, tokenize it, and make it available for a host of AI agents, a host of AI models to actually be able to use to train their models? That is possible. Can the youth actually work on that and monetize it and actually get jobs, digital jobs out of that? That is one of the things that we're going to be doing here. And that's part of what sets us apart from many other AI models that have been unveiled. That is why we are actually saying that we want to actually be able to create jobs. When we have what Randy and I call a marketplace, and that we're going to be able to actually create a platform where these young people, once they've created their AI agents, AI models, they post them, just like you've been seeing apps being created. And that is where we are with this. They will be able to actually use Simba AI to generate AI agents and post those AI agents onto the platform and be able to monetize that. That is one of the ways that we're actually going to be creating jobs. And so we're not just unveiling a chatbot. We're not just unveiling a platform that you'll be using to ask questions back and forth. But we are unveiling today what I call a powerful innovation that creates an opportunity and creates a platform for our youth to be able to advance in AI. And the beauty of AI is that you don't need a lot of technical knowledge. With Simba AI, the engine will assist you as a young person in Kenya, in Nakuru, in Africa, and around the world, from the comfort of your PC, where you are, to actually be able to generate these AI agents. Because again, that's the direction of this technology. So I wanted to be clear to all of you and to all of us that today we're unveiling version 1 of Simba AI, but we are also presenting to you our great lab, which is going to be the first Africa AI factory. Simba AI is one of a kind. It is, in my view, the first advanced language model. Many of you are used to large language models, and there are many of such. But we're moving to the next level. And in just a few weeks, actually a few days, because of the rapid nature of AI, because Simba itself is actually being able to acquire new knowledge, being able to actually critique itself, being able to generate a lot more new information. We are also, in that rapid fashion, accelerating how best we can actually update as many elements of Simba AI that you will continue to interact with. I can tell you that once you start using Simba, you'll not think of anything else. You will find that Simba can translate one item into hundreds of languages, even our local languages. And I want to challenge you to, ask Simba to write a poem for you, or draft an essay for you, and translate that essay into as many languages as possible. I'm Suba, and I think that if a language is not maturely developed in the digital fashion, then Simba will have a bit of a problem with it. But if you generate a poem in Swahili about Nakuru, and ask Simba to translate that poem in English, Simba will. If you ask Simba to translate that poem in Kikuyu, Simba will. If you ask Simba to actually translate that same poem in Kalenjin, Simba will. Simba is having a bit of a challenge translating that poem in Luo. I think there's a bit of a problem for the Luos that are here. We need to figure out how to develop that part of the language so that it has a bit of maturity in the digital space. Simba would translate the same in Chinese, in Japanese, in German, and that is the power of what we actually do have 24/7. And so if you come here at any time of the day or night, you will find young people working here in different shifts. This lab can carry close to about 1,000 people on 3 shifts. This Africa AI factory that you're seeing here has the capacity to actually manage over 1,000 young people. And our intention in job creation, as speedily as it might be, in the next 3 to 2 years, in the next 2 to 3 years, we want to see a situation whereby at least 1 million jobs for young people is created on the Simba AI platform. Data is the lifeblood of AI. And data will continue to be a critical component of AI. And that is why we have set up in this lab, that is why we have set up in this AI factory a data hub, which will allow us much data to continue to be generated every second, every minute, every hour. And then we'll be looking at how best we can help the youth who are involved in this to monetize that. Now remember, that is not just only going to be happening here in the lab. This opportunity will be open to freelancers as well, such that even your Africa, what do you call that? Africa Next Voices will also have an opportunity whereby the data they generate can be brought, of course, technologically, processed, cleaned up, tokenized, and made available without breaching any of the data laws, without creating a challenge to anyone. And they, I've heard you, and I disagree with this statement that data is the new oil. Data is data. Data is the new life, not just the new oil. We're moving away from that. And remember, let me just take an example of Nation Media or NTV or KTN or anyone here. I mean, all of these media houses. The information that you have picked up here is new data that has never been there before. I want you to understand it that way. The information that you're picking here now is new data that has never been in existence before. Every minute, the news media have new data that is being generated, that is not available even for the new, AI models to actually be able to address or to work with. And that is why there is future in data processing. There is future for data scientists. There is future for young people around the world, around Kenya, to actually generate data. And in our own wisdom, we say that we must then create a platform to enable young people, to enable those who create data to actually be able to generate, to monetize it, to get revenue from it. Because this news now becomes new data, and it needs to be very quickly captured, it needs to be processed, it needs to be tokenized, and it needs to be made available to AI engines like Simba, so that when you ask Simba, 15 minutes after you have broken the news of the death of Pope, Simba will tell you that, and you ask Simba, who is the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church? 15 minutes after you break the news, Simba should tell you, oh, sorry, you're behind news, the Pope is dead. That is where we actually have to be. And that can only happen when data is processed quickly, every second, every minute. And that is why I keep saying that the jobs that can be created by AI models or on the AI platforms is nearly endless. And so what our engineers and our team is working on is to ensure that we work out a plan on how this can actually be monetized. And your data that you have will actually fall into that pool. And even the news media that you guys are, if you create something that is newsworthy, that is actually can be attributed to you, you will have a platform where you can actually post that and be able to actually make money out of it. I'm only going to allow 2 questions for the young people, and then we move to the. Which is.
The impact of AI on cybersecurity.
Well, I think I answered it. Maybe you didn't just pay attention. But let me address it this way. AI basically generates its own, so long as you've written code, it generates its own security. And I told you that when we started our project, we started by developing an endpoint solution that would protect your device from an authorized intrusion. And actually that is already inbuilt into Simba. But there's an angle of your question that I also want to just gather sufficient courage to mention here. That AI is going to revolutionize cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is built around the concept or the principle of encryption. Artificial intelligence it has the capacity to rapidly move into the encryption space. And in the same token, it can also be used to actually decrypt. And I want to just leave it at that. That yes, it has both positive and negative impact, but I think the opportunity that we have is we can rapidly develop solutions on artificial intelligence that addresses cybersecurity at personal level, at corporate level, and globally.